Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakak B'dash. And of course, I want to say Shalom to Aknakwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. I don't know how long this one's going to be. It's just a little short one. I just got off work, so just a little in transit one. So we're just going to roll through the spirit. It might just be a little short one today. We'll see. I got this new schedule with this new job, so I don't know. Lessons probably getting posted a little earlier because I'm doing earlier shifts, but I guess we'll just have to see. So anyway, this is a video I've had saved for a while, and it's about these drones, man. If you check it out, I'm going to go ahead and let it play. So the weird thing I thought, and it kind of just came to me just right now, is they're doing these trainings, but why are they training in a classroom setting, right? That's something to think about. That's definitely something to think about. Why? And this looks like, from what I can tell, like an elementary or high school, man. You know, so why are they training, sweeping a school with drones? Okay, now you could say it's for, you know, how do I want to say it without triggering an algorithm? A mass pew-pew or school pew-pew-ers, right? They could say that, but there's definitely something nefarious, all right? We're not morons. We're not fucking stupid. We know Esau's got something going on. And on top of this, they have I believe it's ICE. You can look this up. They have ICE training for urban combat. They have a training complex going on right now. Let's see if I can find it. ICE Urban Combat Martial Arts. It's new. It's a new thing. Let's see if I can find it. Hold up. I'm at. Alright, Slack. Hold up.
Here in front of.
Alright, Slack. What in the world? Anyway. Alright, Slack. Yeah, this fucking Instagram wants to give you every other type of reel in the world but what you're trying to look at. Slack. You. So I got the information a little bit wrong. It's the U.S. Army. I thought they were doing the. I thought when I originally saw it was ICE. So it's the U.S. Army, and they're doing urban training. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play this one for you just to show you all these things that they got going on. They got these drones. They got this going on in Pasadena. So check this out.
Simulating an attack on the building. And this is going to...
Hold up. Where'd it go? Man, this shit is ridiculous. Here it is. Suck it.
Councilmember Rick Hole here in front of the former St. Luke's Hospital, where the U.S. Army is conducting a training exercise in urban warfare. As you can hear, flashbangs and simulated gunfire are going on. They're going to be going on for the next half an hour, we're told. It's 1 a.m. We're in the middle of what is normally a quiet residential neighborhood. Homes literally across the street with people trying to sleep. The Ranger helicopter just dropped soldiers on the roof. They're simulating an attack on the building. And this is going to go on for a while. And good luck to the people who have got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning.
So you got to ask yourself, man, what do you think that they're possibly training for? Ground invasions, urban warfare, in buildings, out buildings, you know, they're training for rounding people up, all right? And the drones, they're doing all this training with the drones, they're doing this, they're training for rounding people the fuck up. They're rounding them for getting them ready for those concentration camps. You don't take that, if you don't take that chip, you're either getting, your neck gets slit, or you get, outwards you get shipped, right? So they're gonna slit your note, and they're gonna put you in some type of camp and all sorts of different shit, man. So there is a community note, and it says Pasadena City Council member Rick Cole said the city's non-emergency line was flooded with calls from people confused about what was happening. It went on for an extended period of time, and it really freaked out the neighbors, Cole said. Similar drills were conducted by the U.S. Army in Long Beach and Los Angeles in 2019. Why were they training in 2019 about it? Why? Think about it. The Army said it trains in urban environments because they provide unique opportunities to simulate real-life scenarios troops may encounter if they deploy overseas. Overseas. True, right? That's not a lie. That's true. Overseas, not boots on ground here in America, not rounding up American citizens, not putting them into concentration camps. No, but for overseas, bullshit, man. Bullshit. Let's see what people are saying. This is not a good sign, people. I like it. It says IDF. That's, you know, that one place you can't talk about, Defense Force, training U.S. military to prevent an uprising. Got it. It says urban warfare practice. Now, why would they need to practice for that? It's true. Training exercise in the middle of the night in an urban residential area where they have thousands of miles and isolated property and training facilities built for the specific purposes. Sure, that seems totally fine and normal. It says this is literally the IDF. Military exercises in civilians areas is odd. It's why are they training in civilian areas? Well, because they're going to be warring against the civilian. So it's definitely a sign of a healthy, fully functioning society. Absolutely. Doesn't the Army have their own facilities for urban warfare? True. This training is highly unusual for military training. This is what we call in the business a show of force. Simulated gunfire in a residential area with civilian cars. They're trying to get the population used to this. Look up what PSYOPs is in the U.S. military, and they actually do have a PSYOPs force. It says the DOW, Department of War, used to be the Department of Peace. It says, have over 24 million acres of land within the U.S. You're telling me that they chose this very public area for something that you would usually be very sensitive training? Come on. It's true. What else? Training to attack us. Okay. What else? This is a fear tactic because why are you doing this in the middle of a city at 1 a.m.? Exactly. It says, it's like it. It says, I feel like people are overreacting. Urban combat situations are very real and very violent way of war. Soldiers prepare for all sorts of combat. Jungle, mountain, Arctic, coastal. Yeah, but here's the thing. This guy is a fucking bootlicker because you do realize they have whole military complexes that are meant to simulate this type of shit. They're meant to simulate urban warfare. They got whole buildings. Things that they can blow up, kick down, throw grenades at, and do all those different types of things. Alright, but all of a sudden they need to do this at 1 a.m. in the middle of a city. Helicopters. Nah. Nope. It says practicing what the U.S. government is going to release now. It's true. Let's see. But yeah. So let's see this one. Slack it. Let me. Here it is. Oop, that's not the one. Here it is. And this next one's crazy.
What?
Shotguns and they
from their boxes.
Shotguns, handgun, like little bullets coming off of them, and on top of that, they teach them how to ram. All right, and there's a lot of force behind that. If you check that out, I mean, it is probably just sand in the bottom of that, but check it out.
Launch with a single purpose.
Knocked it over
to make sure that every child here gets to go home safely.
Yeah, because instead of mandating guns, we should make flying turbo super guns that could mow down 100 children within a minute. This is so intelligent, guys. Wow, this is the precipice of humanity and intellect. This is so great. These totally aren't going to be used on protesters or anything. Who would think that?
Yeah, who would think that? Someone smart, that's who. So let's get a couple scriptures here, and we'll close out. The first one that comes to mind, okay, is this is the type of shit that Esau does. This is the type. Well, before we even get that, let's get another familiar one. Okay. Now, before we do that, and again, this isn't anything unfamiliar for the brothers and sisters that have been around, but council, meaning, it's defined council. Council, an assembly of people elected or chosen to deliberate, make decisions, or provide advice. So it's a group of people that sit around and make decisions. Okay? Now, Psalm 64 and 2. We'll just do Psalm 64, and we'll read it from the top. It says, "Hear my voice, O Yahweh, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." And ICE is an insurrection, right? And that's what they're doing. They're doing they're workers of iniquity, all right? Iniquity is wickedness, sin stacked, and that's what they do. "Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them?" And they've gotten bold, right? Whether it be because they want to get bold or if the Lord's just having it be revealed. They've gotten bold with showing more things, all right? Because they don't care anymore. It says, "They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded." So they try to bring evil upon individuals. All right, primarily they want to bring evil upon the elect, but the Lord has it happen where their tongues end up falling upon themselves, and those same things they wanted to happen to the elect ends up happening to them. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh, for they shall widely consider of his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory." But these individuals, they're not going to glory. They're going to be pissed off and upset. Why is their plans not working? Yada, 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 so on and so forth, right? Because they're a bunch of big babies, man. That's all Esau is, a bunch of babies. That's why they're crying and whining and bitching and moaning constantly. So now we can go to Proverbs 4 and 16, and it says, "For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall." So this is why they're doing all these things. They got to come up with these evil things and test. And they're testing these on real humans somewhere on some island somewhere. All right, we're not that dumb. We don't, they're not doing anything nefarious. No, it's just they're going to use it for good. They don't use it for good. Okay. Matter of fact, let's jump there real quick. "If he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly." Ecclesiastes 14 and 7, it says, "And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness." He wants his wickedness to go out, not his good. If he does anything good, it was accidental, right? They tried to create super cancer, and while they were creating super cancer, they accidentally cured cancer, right? Oh shit, throw that away. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to create super cancer, right? And somehow this super cancer we got killed, it was so strong, it killed the cancer cells and then ate itself, all right? We can't have that. We're trying to make it horrible. That's what they do, right? Then again, not medical advice, right? That may or may not be true, right? Read between the lines. If it's not or isn't true, all right? But then, you know how they are with medical advice. So, not a medical professional, and, whatever you believe is whatever you believe. Not giving you medical advice. But that's the type of shit that they have the power to do, right? So, in the NLT version of Proverbs 4 and 16, it says, "For evil people," these are the Edomites, and their grandchildren, all right, the Amalekites, all right, the 1948ers, those with the tiny tops. It says, "For evil people can't sleep until they've done their evil deed for the day. They can't rest until they've caused someone to stumble," all right, stumble or fall or die or, some harm to them in some way, shape, or form, all right, or lead them astray. They can't, they can't go to bed until they've done their evil deed. Just, that's how evil these people are, man. You imagine not being able to rest. That saying, how do you sleep at night? Right? These people that kill people and are violent and do what, steal. How do you sleep with your, how do you, what is it? How do you, how are you comfortable with yourself? How can you sleep at night? Right? Well, these individuals, they can't sleep at night unless they've done something evil. They're like, man, I just haven't killed anybody today. I just got to go and do it, and then I can go to bed. That's evil. You know how evil you have to be like that? And that's these Edomites, man. So when people say, oh, there's some good, no, there's not. All right? There are, so-called good white people, all right? But those are people such as myself that are speckled birds that look like so-called white people that go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel, okay? So, no, there's not a good Edomite. There's good Israelites that look like Edomites, all right? And there's bad Jakes, but all Edomites are bad, man. They don't do anything good. It's not in them. They can't do it good. Like it says, if they do good, they do it unwillingly. They can't do good. It's not within them, man. It's not within them. And that's why, ultimately, one of the reasons why they got to be cut off as a nation. Because they can't get right. Okay, after 1,000 years of captivity, the heathens, they're going to get it. All right, they're still going to go off. They're not going to be perfect. Like, they're not going to have the law written within their inward parts like us, right? We'll have to make, moderate over them and lord over them and make sure, they're doing things right. But Esau will never have the ability to even try to get a little bit right. He just can't. He can't. It's just not in him. They just don't have it. Okay? They're not built like that. So that's why they got to be cut off as a nation, because no one as profane as Esau. Can't do right, can't keep a law, can't, stick with his word. They're liars, they're killers. They can't go to bed unless they do wickedness. You can't have a people like that. It's unproductive for society. It's harmful for society. Okay? And after that 1,000 years of captivity, they've basically been paid off. And after that, there's nothing that they could add to society. There's nothing they could do for us. Okay? As rulers in Israel. Okay? They're not going to be able to, do what the heathens are going to be able to do, regular other heathens. They're not going to be able to come and worship. They're never going to submit under Yahweh Shem Shai and us. They're not going to be able to do that. So they're functionally societally, socially useless. Okay? They have no purpose. So they're going to have to be gathered and destroyed. And that's exactly what's going to happen after that 1,000 years of captivity. Meanwhile, for the other heathens, after that 1,000 years, they're going to go to their dwelling lands. We're going to rule over there, moderate, make sure they're not doing anything that they shouldn't be doing. All right, Moab over there, secretly chopping up pigs and shit. Not allowed to do that. Nope, you're going to get an ass whooping if you do that. All right? Because there'll be, punishments from the law are going to be reinstated. Not that they're not now, but Esau's society right now is, you can do all these things and it's not a legal crime to go and eat pork. All right, biblically, the Lord will kill you for that. All right, because the wages of sin are death. But in their society, I could go out and buy pork right now. Not that I would, because again, I keep Yahweh Shem Shai's law to the best of my ability. But that's something I could go and do. In our society, you're not gonna be able to go and buy pork. All right, pork manufacturing is gonna be illegal. All right, under the law, you ain't gonna be able to eat it. It's not for eating. Okay, the only thing that's gonna be eating pork like that, if anything was to eat it, would be other animals. Okay, because the laws do not apply to them. It's the same reason why a dog don't need to have fringes on it, Jake. Right? Because there was a Jake maybe 3 years ago, right, that put fringes not only on his car, but also on his dog. Stupid, man. Just ridiculous. But anyway, this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 5:15. It says, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small." No matter how big it is or small it is, take into consideration what these things could potentially be used for. Okay? I just got out of Savers. So I just got off work, and I said, stop by the Savers, see what they got. Picked up a DVD. And again, I mentioned this time and time again, because, again, going to Savers, that's what they do. And the lady, in order to, what was it? I think was it scanning or something was going on with the machine. So I tried to scan it, and because it's a DVD, it has the barcode, and then it has the thrift store's barcode, and it was picking up the other one. So I think she had to clear that out, and she had to put in her employee code. And how do they? Again, I mentioned this time and time again with Savers, biometric ID. She had to scan her wrist. Boop. But it's just a wrist. It's not a chip. It's not an implant. It's not digital. It's just your veins. For now, it's just your veins. For now, it's just your fingerprint. For now, it's just your eyeball being scanned. For now, it's just tap to pay. For now, it's just, double tap on your Apple Watch and ping, and you paid. For now. But it's not going to be... The infrastructure has already changed, man. The infrastructure is changing. There's this... They're getting ready. There's this place that I go to shop occasionally called Winco. Okay, it's basically like a ghetto Costco that you don't pay a membership for. It's like a big store that looks homely, right? Not homely. It looks kind of ran down. A lot of Jake. It's cheap. I guess maybe it's like a Smart and Final, or like I don't know what you would compare it to on the East Coast. I don't really know what you compare it to, but it kind of looks like a Costco, but you don't pay a membership. It's all ghetto Jakes, and you go in there and they have it. But the reason I mention it is because for a while, I always made sure to have, if I go in there, I had to have my card. Because most places, I just tap my phone, bing, and it pays it, all right? Or, with this new job, I'm wearing my watch again, so now that I'm wearing my watch a lot, double tap my watch, bing, Apple Watch, or even if you have a Galaxy Watch or whatever watch you have, most of them have either Google Pay or Apple Pay, and double tap it or whatever you have to do to get it, and hit bling, and pulls it up, pays for it. And Winco, you were never able to do that. You always had to have your card. Well, me and my wife go in there last week, and all of a sudden, all the registers have changed. Registers look the same, but all the POS systems have changed, and now they can all do tap. They never did tap. Now, the one that's still in a holdout is Walmart. Now, I could have been bugging one day, but we can't swear. We're not supposed to swear, but I would put money on it, because I can't swear, but I would put money on it, that one day me and my wife in there went to shop, and one day they did tap. Now, they're infamous for not doing tap to pay, but one day I remember I just double tap, ping, and checked out, and it never did it again. So, Walmart, what's up with Walmart, man? What is that? It means they have the technology, but for some reason they're not allowing it to happen. Now, I guess a lot of people online, they said the reason they don't do that is because they want you to use Walmart Pay, because Walmart Pay, they can gather information on you and basically sell your data for like emails and your name and your phone number and all that shit. They basically want a proprietary system so they can get all your data from it. So that could be true. But all these places that didn't have tap are all of a sudden now having tap. Why is that? Ecclesiastes 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. It's just a credit card. It's just the Apple Watch. It's just the Apple Pay. It's just the... Yeah, no. It ain't that. All right, they're getting ready, man. They're getting ready, and Trump's getting ready, man. Okay, for this digital currency rollout. And at first, it's just going to be an app on your phone. Okay, all your money, it's not going to go through Chase anymore. It's not going to go through Wells Fargo or Bank of America. Okay, it's going to go through whatever the fuck they're going to name it, right? $1, right? Whatever it's not like they have jam decks, right? And it's an app, and that's where your money's going to come in, right? It's going to have account and routing on there. That's where your money's going to come in. That's where your money's going to leave, all right? If you transfer money, it's going to be transferred through there. If any money you make, and they're not going to take cash anymore. They're not going to take coin. They're already gradually phasing out coinage, okay? Pennies, those are the first to go. Then they're going to probably get rid of nickels, dimes, then quarters. Once after that, all the bills will go. And that's going to be completely digital. So, we got to know these things, man. We got to be we got to be a watchman, all right, to the house of Israel. Okay, we got to warn people. All right, as men, we got to warn people what happens before it happens, man. That's part of being a prophet, all right, and prophesying and making these lessons is warning people that, hey, man, it's coming soon. You ain't gonna have no cash, all right? You know, a lot of older people, they still keep cash on them. I don't keep cash on me anymore. Every once in a while, I'll try to lie to myself and take 20 or 40 out of my account and try to keep it in cash in my wallet just so I can surprise myself with money that I didn't know that I didn't spend yet. But other than that, you know, it's an inconvenience now. Okay? You got to go there, and we don't have the change, we don't have this, we do this, or, half the kids these days, they don't know how to count the fucking money. It's slow, so it's just easier, right? 1, 2, boop, boop, bing, and then walk right out. Get your seat out, okay? You don't even have to fucking talk to anybody more, all right? You could just take your Apple Pay, go to a self-checkout, get your shit, put it up there, click, bling, out. You don't even have to fucking talk to anybody. And I'm a pretty antisocial person anyway, so I prefer it. But no cash. And even if it did have cash, it's usually an automated system now. So, and soon that will go away. Soon that will all go away. And us that are in this truth, we know it. All right, we can see it. We've seen it coming for a long time. They bragged about, not bragged, but they hinted, I'll say, at getting rid of the penny for years, right? And it was kind of unbelievable, and they did do it. I was kind of shocked. We're going to get rid of the penny. 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 Oh, and this year we're going to get rid of the penny. Oh, next year we're going to get rid of the penny. And it's like, no, they've said that every year, and then finally they did get rid of the penny, right? They're not manufacturing pennies anymore. The only pennies they got are pennies that are left, okay? And the job that I'm at now, basically, they said in a penny shortage, you basically got to round up or round down, right? Because some that might not get pennies, because it could be, I I don't know, hard to get, you know, supply and demand or whatever for fucking pennies. I don't know. A lot of places aren't even getting pennies in. We still get them in, but a lot of places aren't even getting pennies in anymore. They just round up or round down. And apparently they've had that the way in Canada for a while, because I guess they got rid of the Canadian version of a penny or something, some shit. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Canada. All I know down in Toronto is they got stupid-ass accents, and they got, everything's expensive. No offense to the brothers that are down there. Your accents are fine, but the ones like the new slang where it's like Arab / black / Jamaican / Canadian / New York sound shit. It's like, oh, hey, you know, buddy, what are you doing there, pal? You know, they got all these fucking weird words. I can't even tell you. You sloosher neuter? What are you doing, you sloosher neuter? You're gonna get out of here before I bang your bungin'. I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? That is some stupid sounding shit, man. That is some stupid sounding shit, right? But no offense to the brothers that are down there, because I'm sure they're not talking with all that shit. That's like the young kids now. It's like the new young kid slang. Like, that's like some 17, 18-year-old shit. It sounds fucking dumb, though. These new young kids in America sound fucking dumb as well, too. So, I guess that's just everywhere. Right, Rizzler. I'm a Rizzler, bro. Rizzer, oh, 6'7". What the fuck are you talking about, dude? But anyway, so these are the type of things we should be being mindful of, watching out, warning people of, and understanding that eventually going to come a day where they're going to gradually start tacking these things on, because they can't do it too fast, because it's like they got to make sure that we're frogs in a boiling pot. All right, you want to add them in before the pot starts to boil, because if you throw them into boiling pot, they say, oh shit, it's boiling, jump out. But if you put them in and gradually heat up the water, this is an old proverb, you can look it up, or like leading a lamb to the slaughter, you do it gradually, they won't notice. And they'll just slowly die, right? So they don't want to spook the frogs, okay? So they got to do it slow. So, and we can't be stupid at these things, because those that are stupid of those things, well, they're going to be those frogs, all right? We've already been hopped out. All right, we're not in Babylon's pan anymore. We've already been hopped out. We know what they're going to do. A lot of people are waiting around to get cooked. All right, they're just sitting around, waiting around to get cooked. Waiting for, oh, water's warm, it's nice, you know. A little cool, actually, today. Heating it up a little bit every day. All right, we already hopped out the pan. We ain't trying to get cooked. These people out in the world, they don't even know they're about to get cooked, man. So, perfect segue, 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, lest Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We know what he's rocking with. We know what he's doing. Okay, we're not dum-dums. We're not morons, all right? We're not fucking retards walking around, I don't know what's going on, man. There's a lot of people in the world, they don't know what time we're in. They don't know that we're in the end days. They don't know things are not going to get, well, things are going to get better, you know, next time when Trump gets out of office and things, no. Nope, it's not. We've been saying things are going to get better for how long? Have they? No, they haven't. All right, well, don't be so negative. No, I'm going to be negative. All right, I'm going to be negative in the light of Babylon, but I'm going to be positive in the light of the next world to come through Yahweh Shemel Shai. Yes, I'm negative when it comes to Babylon. This place is done. It's through. Ain't no helping it. Yes, I'm very negative with it, but I'm very positive when it comes to the new world that Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to bring in. Okay, because Esau is going to try to bring their new world order, but Esau is going to try to bring their new world order, but Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to establish his new world order. You know, his new world order, his one world government is Jake on top, all the heathens on the bottom, captivity for 1,000 years, and making sure everything goes out exactly like it should. Righteous is going out. No one's doing wickedness, all right, to one another. No evil shit going on, all right? And that's what we're looking for, in a positive light. But this place, nah, negative light. Let this place burn. It's got to go, man. So that's where I'm going to close out. Lord willing, it was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakbadash. Shalom, you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.